Hello and welcome to 7 Days of Halloween. My name is Monica, and over the next 7 days I'm going to be sharing with you 7 Halloween cards. I hope to share with you some fun Halloween stamps, and hopefully you'll learn a few techniques along the way. So today is all about washi tape, and I'm going to show you how to create a frame where you can frame any of your art or even fun ephemera to create a fun Halloween card. So let's get started. I'm using 2 washi tapes from the Tim Holtz collection, and the spiderweb washi tape is a washi set that I picked up over at Michael's. The white cardstock that I'm using is heavy base. I believe it's 110 pounds, and I've cut it down to 4 inches by 5 1/4. You're also going to need some sort of a frame die cut. Keep in mind that you are creating a decorative frame, so you're going to want to have some sort of die cut to cut out the center. Now, with my card, I decided to go with a rectangular die cut because the image that I'm going to be putting into this card is rectangular. But you could easily use an oval or even a round die cut. You just have to make sure that you do add enough washi tape to your edges so that way your whole frame is covered. Now, when you're using washi tape that actually has words or images, you do want to make sure that you pay attention to the way that you add your second piece of washi tape, or for that matter, even your first piece of washi tape. When you are looking at your card, you want to make sure that you can read the words, and you don't want your words to be upside down or sideways. So just keep that in mind when you are choosing your washi tape. So for this frame, I did need just a little bit more coverage on the middle sides of my frame. So I decided to come in with a couple pieces of spiderweb washi tape. Now, because I didn't want to go all the way to the edge of my card, I did use my ruler, which has a really sharp edge, to cut my washi tape exactly where I needed it to end. And this can simply be accomplished by lining it up with your other washi tape, and it just pull along the edge, and it will cut it a nice clean edge that will mat up right against your washi tape. Now, by adding that third piece of washi tape, I was able to cover the entire frame, and then use my die cut to cut out the center portion of my frame. Now, you don't want to get rid of that center portion because that's going to be a great insert for your sentiment inside of your card, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Now, for my background, I am using a piece of designer cardstock from the Tim Holtz Halloween Collection. I didn't want to get a background that was too busy, so I decided to go with this wood frame. Now, once you got your back panel adhered to your white cardstock, you want to kind of figure out exactly what you're going to be framing. There are so many options at this point. You could easily add one of the paper dolls from the Tim Holtz collection, or even some fun ephemera. You can frame your paper doll inside, or maybe even put it on the outside of the frame and pop it up with some foam tape. Maybe you want to add some of those paper dolls to the frame. Maybe you want to add some ephemera to the frame. The sky's the limit, so just use your imagination to make this piece your own. And even if you don't want to add something that you purchased, maybe you want to add one of your digits that you've colored up, you could easily use that, or even add a photograph. The sky's the limit, so just use your imagination. Now, this image is from the Found Relatives Occasion Pack, but it's now available also in the Paper Doll Collection, and I thought this would be a fun image to frame on my card. Now, the frame was pretty decorated already with the washi tape, but I did want to add a few more embellishments. I decided to add one of the Halloween word bands and some of the Halloween ephemera. Now, to add my word band, I am using a piercing tool, and then I'll add a couple of brads to hold it in place. Now, typically before I will pierce the holes, I will add a little bit of tape to the back of my word band just to hold it in place and have it not moving around while I'm trying to adhere it with my brads. It's just something that I do, and it seems to work really well for me. Now, if you remember in the beginning of the video, I did recommend that you use heavy cardstock, and this is exactly the reason why. If you're going to be adding some embellishments that are metal or just have a little bit of weight, you want to make sure that your frame is going to hold up. So the heavy cardstock really comes into play at this point. And then I'm also adding a type token as an added decorative feature. So once you have the embellishments that require the brads attached to your frame, you can pretty much start putting your card together. I did want my frame to pop up just a bit, so I am going to add some foam tape to the outside of the frame, and then I'm going to stick my image in the middle. Now, one thing I want to share with you that happened to me, so I want you to be aware of it. I am using my paper dolls, which you see on the left part of the screen, and because I actually popped up the frame with foam tape, the top of the heads of my paper dolls kind of stuck out, and that's what I wanted. But what you're going to need to do is, if you use something that does have different sizes, like you have the little boys that are shorter and then they kind of get taller as they go along, you're going to want to make sure that you add some foam tape towards the bottom of the larger image, so that way it will pop up outside of the frame. I made the mistake of not realizing that until after the fact, and I ended up having to bend the little guy's head just a bit. So just be aware of that if you do have some images that are going to pop outside of the frame just a bit, which is actually a really nice feature. It looks dimensional when you do that. Just want to plan a little bit for that. Now at this point you can call it a day, but I decided I wanted to add just a couple of more embellishments. So I did pull out some of the ephemera from the Halloween Ideology pack to add to the frame. Okay, so remember the insert that we had from our metal die cut? This is what I wanted to share with you. I took this middle portion and I stamped a fun little Halloween sentiment right on the white portion of it using my Misty. So this is something that you can use not only on the outside of another card or as the sentiment for the inside. So I hope that you've enjoyed my first video and my 7 days of Halloween. As always, I will leave a list of all the products that I've used to create this card, along with the links to the stores. Now at the end of the video, I plan on having a drawing, and I will be giving away 2 prizes. The first prize is going to be a set of the 7 cards that I create in this series, and that will go to one person. And then a second prize will be a fun little care packet that has several of the items that I've used to create cards through the week. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you head out, and make sure you leave me a comment. All right, everyone, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you again tomorrow.